Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for choosing our show. Ladies and gentlemen, when the Kenya Kwanza government was campaigning and immediately they ascended to power, President William Ruto had taken a complete paradigm shift from Uhuru Kenyatta, and he thwarted and changed every project and policies that his predecessor had. And William Ruto had his mega projects in the country. One of them being the housing. Of course, that was a continuation from Uhuru. But when he was doing that, he did away with the kazi kwa vijana and said that the housing project would create jobs for youths. Another project was the shift from the NHIF to the Taifa Care. And William Ruto said that he had a very good plan for our country. And I remember some people went to court because it was shrouded in obscurity. People could not understand exactly what was happening. It even ended in the courts. But William Ruto threatened that he was not even going to obey court orders. He maintained that those who are opposing the housing levy and opposing the Taifa Care or the SHA had a very ulterior motive, and he had said those were the cartels that were siphoning money in the old model, the NHIF.
We are not going to accept blackmail because the characters who are sponsoring court cases against UHC are the people who are beneficiaries of corruption in NHIF, people who have corrupted our health institutions. Hiyo mambo ya kuiba huko Ministry of Health tutaisimamisha. Unajua watu wengi kwa sababu wamekuwa wafanyabiashara matapeli katika sekta ya health.
Now, people told William Ruto that we needed not to rush, even if an idea is such a very amazing one, that you need to take your time, you need to consult. You need to bring in all the stakeholders. But William Ruto refused, as he has always done. He believes he's the best. He's a child of destiny. He's been sent by destiny to come and help Kenya. Now today, one of the very Ruto allies is sounding an alarm. And she's saying that there are a lot of cartels in the health ministry that are doing the very, very thing that William Ruto used to complain about, the reason he gave us as to why he was shifting from the shift to SHA or something. Sabina Chege is saying that this cartel is deeply rooted, that if it's not checked, then we are going to ruin this SHA and everything. In other words, she's saying that SHA is not working because there are cartels that are trying to sabotage it. Can you listen to Sabina Chege?
Madam Speaker, sometimes even when we said we have devolved health, you'll find that our people go, they're paid for SHA, you're told there is no medication, so you have to go and buy in a pharmacy. And you'll find that it's kind of a cartel, Madam Speaker, that even the public, some of the equipment in our public facilities where we are saying, yes, we may need more equipment, but they might be working, but they are sabotaged so that you can be sent to a nearest private facility to go for a CT scan, to go for an X-ray. And it is sad, Madam Speaker, and I would, because I've seen Honorable Nyikal here, I have two requests. One, I would like your committee to investigate on the amount of money that is being paid out by SHA. What is being paid to the public facilities, and I know we already have around 42% of our public facilities, and what is going to a private facility. Why would we pay around 100 million to a private, very small private hospital that is giving cancer treatment, and compared to what we are paying the entire Kenyatta University referral, Moi Teaching referral, Kisii Level 5, even the Jaramogi Oginga, or the amount of money we are paying to Kenyatta National Hospital? Why would a small facility that only offer one service, and it's publicly known in Kenya, be paid millions of shillings from SHA? Honorable Nikal, and allow me, Madam Speaker, through the Speaker, to address you. Last night, as a mother, I was very disturbed by a case I saw from Machakos, and I wish and I hope the women rep Machakos and the leaders from Machakos can follow that matter. And Honorable Nikal, with your committee, kindly help that mother whose child was operated in a facility in Machakos. First, she was forced to pay 5,000. I watched 9 p.m. news yesterday, around 9:35 p.m. You can go back to your YouTube and see. And then this child, the mother was forced first to pay 5,000 shillings. Then the doctor messed up with the child. The child needed emergency, so she even borrowed 50,000 to get an ambulance. And the ambulance, when they were leaving the hospital, they were meant to be taken for referral in Kenyatta Hospital. But then the mother ended up in a facility, small facility in Isili, where this baby has been held. And the mother, till now, cannot be able to access to see the condition of her child, who is in ICU, because she has been asked to pay 3 million Kenyan shillings. I saw that lady crying. Where can she get 3 million? Her child is being held in the funny facility in Isili. Why, Honorable Nikal? Why would we have our citizens suffering when you have been forced to go and use a private facility because they need money? And investigate also. Sometimes you'll go, some of the services that are offered when you're going with an insurance or with this SHA. If SHA is paying, you are told you can pay, the service is 28,000. But when you are paying cash, you are told you can pay 14,000. What is this? We need to investigate. And the only solution, let us make sure that we equip our public facilities. Let us make sure we have enough doctors, enough medicines, we have enough supporting staff, so that, honorable members, you can easily walk into Kenyatta National Hospital. We even have a private wing. And I want to say, maybe for us to start by leading by example, because we are urging the ministry to quickly form a policy on this. And sometimes policy can take as long as somebody wants. It can be formed within 1 month, 6 months, or somebody can decide to sit on this forever. And I hope the Committee on Implementation can follow up on this.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to imagine that that statement was coming from one of the Rigathi allies. Let's say maybe Senator Medu or Karungwa Dhangwa. Or let's say it was Natembeya, or the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was the one who was criticizing SHA and saying that there are cartels in the ministry. People like Junet Mohammed and Kimani Chunga would have busted them. But you see, this is Sabina Chege. Sabina has been a close ally. She's part of the team from Mount Kenya that has supported William Ruto, and they continue to say that William Ruto deserves a second term. We need people who are in government, but they will still pinpoint where things are not going right. We have always maintained on this channel that we don't have any personal vendetta against William Ruto. If and when William Ruto succeeds, we all succeed. I mean, we would really want the SHA to work without any hiccups. We would really want SHA to work without sabotage from cartels. Why? This is the reason we were given, that the NHIF was full of cartels. When SHA works, it works for you and I. We are human, we are not immortal. Tomorrow I can get to the hospital. And if I can go through the frustration that Sabina Chege is describing there, it will be very painful to any human being. So when we insist and we pinpoint areas that need a lot of improvement, then you see the members of the president worship team continue to attack anyone who would want to question any policies of William Ruto. The deputy president, Kithure Kindiki, was in Mombasa, and as usual, he continued with the praise. And he was saying that we are waiting for many people to register, then we improve. Other people are saying we are waiting for the government to improve this system, then we will register. But the government is telling us, no. Wewe jisajili kwanza, ayo mengine tutaona baadaye.
Taifa Care is working and the coastal counties are doing well. Of course, Mombasa is leading in the whole country with 71% of the population now with a medical insurance. And today we are celebrating. Today we are celebrating because today around 12 noon, we hit the 25 million Kenyans registration mark, Kenyans who have registered for medical insurance. And if there is one transformative measure, which is going to be remembered for a long time under this administration, is universal health care and enabling as many citizens as possible to have a medical cover. It is not a small matter. We are hoping in the next 1 year, we can reach 45 million. It is possible. First of all, we want to onboard and make sure as many Kenyans as possible have a public medical insurance available for them. And then the next step now is to perfect that insurance. We improve equipping hospitals, making drugs available, the health personnel issues, the reimbursement system, and making sure that facilities are reimbursed for the actual expenditure. This fine-tuning is going to be the work for the next 5 or so years.
Hii makelele mnasikia kwa hii mitandao na nini ni watu ambao walikuwa wanaibia sisi siku ya NHIF. These are brokers. Iko sijui iko shida hata.
Which should come first, ladies and gentlemen? Should we register even when things are not going well? Even when there is no one listening to us? Because how we should have someone who would say, yes, we hear you. There are improvements that we need to make. But you see, we have people who deal with us with a lot of pride. Yeah, you try to talk and they tell you, hapana, nyinyi ni wenye wivu. Unaona Ruto is doing better than Uhuru Kenyatta. They keep on, throwing words here and there. Many Kenyans, if you talk to them, they will tell you, we are waiting. We just want this thing to improve, then we will try it. And the person who is talking is not from the opposition. When you look at the broad-based government members, they so believe, especially ODM, that when you are supporting William Samoei Ruto, then you don't need to question him. Adani deal all of a sudden becomes a good idea. Killing of the people on the street all of a sudden becomes a good idea. When you ask them, hata wao wengine walituchekelea wakati tulikuwa tunauawa. Corruption is normalized. 1 year down the line, they have joined the government, no compensation, people are still being kidnapped and killed, but you don't question that. Even if you are in the party and you question, then they tell you, you better go. You leave. I see a situation where the members that supported William Ruto or support him will look straight into Ruto's face and tell him, apana. Why? These members of parliament come from the society and the community where we come from. When people suffer and people die, those are their relatives. And they will be forced to talk. Number 2, the ground is changing and shifting and becoming hostile. 2027 is closing at a very terrific speed. And those people who want to be re-elected will choose either to stand with the oppressed or with the oppressor. Because of the pressure from the ground, leaders are beginning to talk. That is why today, people are not moving by the wave. People are looking at individuals and what they have done. If this is the government that we want us to support and SHA is not working, then why would you force us to support it? That's what people are looking at. People are beginning to wake up. Sabina Chege understands that people will be asking, you were quiet when SHA was not working, when we were dying and we were paying a lot of money for it. The ground is hostile. We should raise our politics to become so mature and healthy, so much that when there is a problem, you do not look at your party affiliation. We need members of parliament who will look at Ruto and tell them, we support you, but when something is wrong, you must correct it. If all of the MPs would be so mature in their politics that they will look at their de facto leaders and tell them, apana, hatutakubaliana na wewe. They look at Raila's face and tell him, if you joined this government on the basis of stopping abductions and killings, why are killings still going on? And we do not just need statements, ile ya kusoma tu. Take action. If people like Kimani Chunga would look at Ruto in the face and tell him, Mkubwa apana, we cannot continue supporting when things are wrong. Duale is not a medic, and I've seen some doctors were saying that if you give us someone who does not understand this profession, it will be very difficult to work with him. I'm going to see what Duale is going to do. Now, what you will see, people like Farouk Kibet, you will see them coming up to defend the SHA. Instead of looking at the questions that have been raised, they will be, in fact, they would even try to connect this to the opposition. They will say, you are now being bribed by Gachagua. Gachagua has people who want to paint a very bad picture of this SHA. That is the problem with us, that we don't look at the nitty-gritties. When there is a problem, we need to go straight and look at that problem with a fine-tooth comb. But we love escapism. When you ask Luo members of parliament, that they will tell you that Sifuna is being bribed by Gachagua. You can never speak your mind. Whenever you speak, if it is against Ruto or against broad-based government, huyo ni Gachagua. Ladies and gentlemen, for you to see Sabina Chege rising up against SHA, she was just falling short of calling on William Ruto. She's saying that she's calling on Nyekala, who I believe is the chair of the Parliamentary Committee on Health, to investigate. But the whole thing involves quite a lot. Duale must be involved, the PS in the Ministry of Finance, and the ultimate authority now is William Ruto, who has continued to say, hawa ni cartels. So the very, very cartels Ruto used to talk about, are we saying that is now working with them? Or are we saying and admitting ya kwamba ameshindwa kuamaliza? If you change a system and you say that you've changed it because there was a cartel, the cartel still proceeds, then in physics unasema hakuna kazi imefanyika. So ladies and gentlemen, Sabina Chege has decided not to be blindfolded. She's speaking the truth. How I wish that other members of parliament would also come out and call out when something is not working. What do you think about the statement of Sabina Chege?